Yo, what's up? It's Whooper. Welcome back to this Let's Play series of this new, it's not really new, but this game I'm playing of the Devil. If you haven't watched my playthrough of episode 0, I'd recommend and go watch it because episode 1 actually isn't the first episode. So I played episode 0 in another video, so you might want to go watch that or else you might be a little confused. So yeah, also while you're switching videos, go ahead and give me a little like and subscribe if you don't mind. Anyways, on to the video. Yo, it's me, Locke. So after I played through an hour of this game, I realized that my mic had a really annoying echo on it. So if you could please still watch the video, I would appreciate it so much, but I understand if not. I'll just do like a recap in the next video, just saying what happened. So y'all don't have to watch this if you don't want, but please support the episode 1 part 2 that comes out. But if you still want to watch this, it'd be a huge help. So I just wanted to let y'all know. And the mic will be fixed next video. So thank you. All right, gang, let's continue. Hold up. New case, episode 1. Episode 0 is actually free to play if you want to go test it out for yourself. And then every other episode after that, it's only like $10, so it's pretty good deal. I do not want to play in high roller mode. Do not trust myself. Oh, but that'd be sick. Oh, why did they do this to me? I promise I'll start talking in a minute, but I'm just saving my voice because I like voice acting characters, so I'm not gonna read like this menu stuff. Fine, I'll do it. I think I know everything, but I'm not sure. So, let me think here. We'll just do it just in case, and if it's like, you know, stuff I already know, I'll just click through it. Listen, I wanted to thank you for coming over. Wanted to thank you for coming over? Figured you'd notice. Anyone could tell something's bothering you. You're the first person to say anything. What happened? The police came to see me in public? No, they wanted to be considerate of my privacy. That's a first. They wanted to talk to me about the other week, about my whereabouts and yours. I told them I didn't know anything. They must have loved that. Funny. What would you have done? In your shoes? Probably cursed them out. Yeah, I could see that. Is there anything you want to ask me? No. Not even for a favor in return? No favors lost between friends, I say. That sounds like a toast. Why not? To friends. I'll raise a glass to that. Glass him! Vandalism detected. Incident logged. Recorded at 8:55 a.m. local time. Geopositional data encoded. If I could have all citizens in the area.
Fuck off, copper!
visuals impaired, facial recognition compromised, pinging nearby opt-ins for corroborating evidence. Hey, he's lighting up. Hey, he's lighting up every phone on the block. We need to go now. Or what? He'll use his outdoor voice? Well, or he'll have us pinned down to our dental records before you can say we're Morning, Officer Leo. You look different today. You do something new with your uniform? Good morning to you, Morgan citizen. To answer your question, no, I've not undergone any recent retrofitting. If you'd like a more detailed record of my maintenance history, you can make a request for. I've got it. Must be a new coat of paint. You're referring to the act of vandalization that just took place. Only the most recent one, Super Cop over here, has a new dent every time I see him. Scars honorably earned the line of duty scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. Don't worry, ma'am. A report has been filed, and the police are working to resolve the situation. Civil disobedience at this time of day? What's the world coming to? They're just stragglers, ma'am. There's a period of unrest in the area last night. Unlicensed protesting and demonstrating without a permit. Well, I hope you threw a book at them. The disturbance was handled. The individual instances of volatility may occur during the next 48 hours as we work to apprehend outside actors. Thanks for the forecast. So does the bleeding stop on its own? Androids don't have blood, ma'am. This is just leakage of oxidizing fluid. My mistake. So you don't need a bandage, I take it? The leakage will dry shortly. With that conversation thoroughly exhausted, I let my mind wander as I wait for the signal to cross. I unfocus my eyes and dull my hearing, sinking beneath the hum of the city street, and fading through the lives bustling around me like so much sea foam. Across the way, a large man with worn hands on an ill-fitting belt turns into a gorilla-like hulk of a machine and cuffs his hands in his front of his mouth. Yo, 61! The machine halts its lifting with an uncanny precision and turns to him. We're going on a break. The robotic tilts its head to the side. You can't work the piler without Schwinn up on the roof, so I don't know, take the load off, will ya? Understood, came the over-enunciated reply. The man already walking away tosses a dismissive wave behind him. Yeah, understood. A moment later, the man turns to the corner. The robot attempts to mimic the hand wave to no one in particular. Goddamn coppers on every street corner. At a bus stop, or what used to be a bus stop, now a charging station, a passionate young man voices his democratic opinion, loud enough for the whole street to hear. They declared martial law when I wasn't looking. The small one was side of trying hard to appear even smaller shifts in her seat. Well, they're just doing their job, so... Bots don't have jobs, except the ones they stole from us. Notice how they don't patrol nearly so heavy in uptown even on the worst days? His audience, captive by virtue of sharing the same charging pool as him, shuffles, coughs, and stares even harder at their foes. The woman looks at her knees and pulls at her shirt. You're kind of embarrassing me right now. He makes a vague gesture with his hand to indicate he stepped off of his soapbox, and the shoulders of everyone around him relax at a centimeter. Oh, now that's just... A woman with exhaustion in her eyes sighs at a hologram floating above her chrome-plated palm, while a rounded, smooth-talking android pushes a carriage behind her. Ellen, walk her round the block, get her some air, will you? Apparently this call can wait, and it's louder than a garbage disposal out here. Of course, ma'am, I'd be glad to. The android punctuates its sentence with a sound halfway between a whir and purr, which, judging by the coos and giggles coming from the child, seems to have been well received. Robots, holograms, androids, drones, coppers, if you prefer, can't do so much as sneeze in the city without a dozen different ads offering you a handkerchief. There's a vocal minority that think they're the downfall of civilization, but for everyone else, you're too kind, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. It's hard to hate them when they're so eager to please. Crosswalks give me the okay. Keep us safe, yeah? Have a good day, Morgan citizen. It's a bright, crisp morning in the city. Lights changing and people moving in click-clacking harmony, all smooth as clockwork. Were I in a worse mood, it would all be a bit too much. But I went out last night. That scared me. But I went out last night, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed this morning. As I reach the other end of the street, I pivot lightly and give automated dependent assistant officer L30 my best impression of a salute. Thank you for your service. And of course, he creaks out a mirrored response. No sense of sarcasm, poor bastards. But I didn't come all this way downtown to poke fun at the only happily employed class in human history. No, I came down here to make an important purchase. Today, I'm going to buy a gun. Retail, the scariest of all jobs. Just kidding, food service is the scariest. No staff around, but all the lights are on. Should I have knocked? Sup? That's personality setting 6, the cool one. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I've probably forgotten more about firearms than you're programmed to remember. I bet you can. I recently acquired a license to carry concealed. Nice. Are you in law enforcement? Do you shoot for sport? Business or pleasure? Neither. May I ask why you're looking to carry concealed, ma'am? Oh, assault with a deadly weapon, cruel intent, that kind of thing. Some of my clients live in very rough neighborhoods. Even in broad daylight, coming down to the lower wards for house visits can be... I see. You're a lawyer. So I guess you'd say I'm in the market for self-defense. We have a wide selection of options for self-defense in a variety of sizes and calibers with spread and PA fire options available. My bad, PA stands for pseudo-automatic. I know. But for concealed, it'd have to be at least be small enough too. This would go a lot faster if I just tell the desk what I want. So, for those that watched episode 0, which I'm about to spoil something, so go watch episode 0, hint, hint, nudge, nudge right now. We're the heartbreak killer. If we're to we're just trying to, we don't want people to know that we know a lot about guns, so we're just trying to be careful, but it's also, do I want the heartbreak killer to get caught? But we're just going to do the main character. If I was being smart, I'd do be patient. But walking in here and asking for a very specific model gun is gun nut behavior. I'm not trying to stand out. Some of the ones I test fired at the range left my shoulder sore for days. Do you have anything more discreet? Right, no problem. Electromagnetic pulse models feature minimal kickback with the highest accuracy. One targeted pulse of electricity can disable attackers at medium to short range, non-lethally and quietly. Sure, they're plenty quiet, but they also have piss poor range, and even sustained fire won't do shit to any modder with insulation less than a few years old. Glorified tasers barely suitable as party favors for anxiety-stricken college kids. Well, hopefully not too quiet. I'd want someone to come running to my rescue. Of course. Would you like to take a look at our mag rails? Bullseye. We're proud to offer a number of models that utilize the latest in miniature ultra-capacity batteries to generate a Lorentz force which slings a slug fast enough to miss a limb over 30 meters. And it's safe? Of course, ma'am. My bad. Two-factor safeties with GPS and emergency services sync. I won't go off unless you want it to. It won't go off unless you want it to, and someone will definitely come running. All those convenient safety features make it incredibly easy for the police or anyone who can dupe their tool set to lock you out of your own gun with the flip of a switch. Couldn't walk a piece like that down a single uptown street without passing through 9 or 10 no-fire zones. They're the very worst, most useless kind of weapon a criminal could buy. Sounds perfect. How do we get started? Why does it feel like every desk I run into has to be such a character? Mercifully, it's tucked itself away while the fabricators get the gun tagged. I've got time to kill, so is there anything worth checking around in the shop? Yeesh, would it kill you to clean up a little? Guess the desk kindly asking customers not to litter can only get you so far if you're not willing to pay someone to sweep it up. Wait, is this trash? This flyer, it's scannable? Stagnancy theory, really? They get a lot of self-proclaimed philosophers in here? Renowned net philosopher Corbin Cawthorne, Really Withheld, offers to take you on a deep dive into the global trends and sociological patterns that have driven our planet to the halting point in his groundbreaking and controversial seminar. Moore's Law used to be the benchmark, now it feels like a pipe dream. We used to dream of humanity marching bravely into space, of artisans crafting virtual wonders that made the confines of our own reality seem limited. Instead, our brightest minds spend all their time and effort kicking the can of climate crisis down the road, while their more fortunate peers spend their most productive working years in search engine optimization and customer experience design. The middle class eaten alive by rich they prop up can no longer afford the very products they help create. Without mass consumer demand, tech no longer has evolutionary pressures to be as small and powerful as possible. In stagnant waters, only parasites in the seas grow aplenty. The only cure comes from you taking action. There's another link at the bottom, probably leading to a collection dish, or a state honeypot if you want to be paranoid. They better burn this shit before some neat freak idiot picks it up and gets arrested. Hate these kinds of screens. Gotta look at them with your nose turned up or else they start eye tracking. Next thing you know, they're saying hello on a first-name basis. But I've got practice with this sort of thing. I can skim the headlines at least. Why the 12-6 work week gives us more free time than ever. I'm 14 and I tried dating a smart UI. It made me the happiest I've ever been. How term limits are anti-democracy. Woof. Transfusion from warm Android saves soldier's life. That's one hell of a headline. If the Animate 16 wasn't selling well before, I'm sure by now it's... I want to make sure I see everything. Aha. There's some kind of news program playing on the screen. Most public places too scared to put it on any news channel with content more political than the smiling micro apartment flippers. But this is a gun store after all. Power is always political. Telling up the datapad. What's the news today? Lobo threatens Tetra with ransomware vulgarity. The international wanted terrorist and serial data thief, most commonly known as Lobo, has seized a cache of vital Keystone data files belonging to the Terra Metallics group, according to the press release from the mining conglomerate. In a blitz of cross posts on 90 different socials translated into 11 dominant languages, the supposed hacktivist, radical, conservationist, and gentleman thief made clear their intent to ransom said files back to their lawful owners at a severe cost. Though the posts were quickly flagged and quarantined, thanks to user reports, Lobo's latest manifesto, which we have declined to publish here on grounds of journalistic integrity and due to the strong language contained within, has remained in circulation thanks to a loose network of rogue data arbiters. In addition to a sizable monetary ransom, Lobo put out a list of demands that spanned pages. Most prominent among them was a call for de-escalation of all conflicts surrounding rare earth metal deposits around the equator. Sources at Tetra refused to confirm or deny the reports that Lobo's captured data impacted only their billing services, but insisted that the corporation could not, in good faith, resume distribution until the ransom situation was resolved. Market prices for rare earth metals surged following the hacking attack. As supply halted and demand rose, stoked by memories of catastrophic supply chain disruption in the mid-21st century. A spokesperson for Mining is Progress, a lobbying group that represents a rare earth metal industry, called Lobo's repeated acts of terror against the free market. Well there, looks like you're not logged in. Want to take care of that real quick? Lobo again? Or someone using their name? Suppose it doesn't matter if they're the original or not, so long as they're a genuine threat. And no one could snare a corporation as rich as Tetra without serious skills. It seems consistent with Lobo's politics, making demands for money, money, money. Lobo's always burning it, I guess. Hacking takes effort and good given talent, but you don't need much in the way of hardware to get started, so I guess it's probably not about them. Dang it! I've failed the last 2 data pads. I gotta lock in on those, dude. Wait, how long has it been? Shouldn't take them that long to get my gun properly bugged. I'm sorry, we received a breaking news story. We're seeking confirmation and, yes, we have it confirmed. Lead programmer at Noble Electronics and famed designer of the Turing solution, Dr. David Asher, has passed. What? Proprietary Vantage automated dependent management systems along with the animate series of androids must be some kind of corporate propaganda tactic or, no, they wouldn't risk fake news, but why? Perhaps best known for his breakthroughs in the field of machine learning and language, misinformation maybe, trying to authored many of the developments that are allowed for Noble's rapid growth and market dominance. David Asher is dead? Including the popular Desk series of smart UIs. That's very sad. I didn't ask. Sorry, I just... Commands only. Understood. Will you be paying with cash or credit? Debit. Sorry guys, I was just testing my mic real quick. The gun was lighter than I expected. A real gun should always be heavy, greater than the sum of its parts. That's one of the things I like about them, their weight. Like they're anchoring the world around them. They're a fixed point in time. Like everything else is just relative to them, either closer or further to the end. I would have liked something heavier during that walk back to my apartment. I would have liked to have something to feel far away from. I didn't realize I was home until my hand was on the door. What is this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fumbling in my pocket for my lighter. Golden, polished, tastefully ergonomic, and fine and expensive. And a good lighter. It was a good gift. I kept the card, didn't I? Here it is. To the only smoker in my life. I know gold's a bit much for your personal style, but they don't make a lot of these anymore. Believe it or not, the only other people who share your vice are stuffy old men with bad, expensive taste. I hope you could manage to get some use out of it anyway. Your friend, David. The news might have more information by now. Or not. Looks like the net's full of copy-pasted statements from Noble, auto-edited montages, ill-fitting quotes. Reactions to the news from every micro-celebrity under the sun, their raw, authentic emotion, brought to you live from all car seats and bathroom mirrors of the world. But there's nothing about his death, not even a time window. But he did die this morning. Was he found... But he did die this morning. Was he found dead in his bed? Has he been dead for days? Has Noble just been waiting for the right time to let a little leak? Or did he die last night while I was out screwing around? A phone call better not be work-related. I'm not in the right mood. Oh, Morgan, hey, thanks for picking up so fast. She's Jessica Starling, who asked me to call her. Hi, Jess. Listen, I need to... I've already seen the news. What? Oh. Of course you have. Duh. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I just, with the company and their people and all the... What I mean is, if it were up to me, you would have been the first call I made. For a decision like that to be up to David's assistant, about 1,000 other Noble employees above her on the ladder would have to get axed, but it's all right, Jess. No one ever really knows what to do with these kinds of things. Still, I'm sorry you had to hear it from a stream Chiron. What difference does it make how the information gets to me? I could have stumbled upon its corpse myself and I would feel mostly the same. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to call anyway. Yeah. If I want more information, she's my best source. I'm going to get maybe for weeks. What to ask at a time like this? I'm supposed to express denial at first, but she's probably short on time. And I don't feel like following the playbook to the letter right now. Can you tell me what happened? The police, they think that he took something. Suicide? and the police are already involved. They say it was some kind of poison or... God. Noble's got a lot of weight on the bludgeon in the state with, especially in this city. I would think they'd keep the police at arm's length for a few days. Listen, Morgan, I need to ask something of you. Of course, Jess, whatever you need. Whatever you need. A bit much, but she's grieving. This is just how people talk. It's not like my day was really salvageable anyways. I'd like to bring you up here to David's place. What do you mean? There's something I have to give you. You're not handling his will already, are you? If the police are involved, it'll be a while before... No, I'm sorry. It's not like that. No, please don't hold back on my account. David asked me to get this into your hands. It wasn't work-related, but he asked me. I know I'm asking a lot here, but since it's turned out to be the last thing he ever asked me to do, I'd like to get it done. I don't like showing up at crime scenes more often or more quickly than strictly necessary. And that's when I only have to worry about the police. With Noble looming over all this, security will be doubled and scrutiny tripled. This is too risky. There's no logical reason to agree to her request. Swing by my place with a cab, yeah. Besides my own morbid curiosity. Right, of course. Thanks, Morgan. Thank you. Wait, I almost forgot. What is it? You don't happen to have anything you could wear in black, do you? The autocab hums a synthesized purr as our on-ramp merges onto the canopy superhighway steadily and suddenly all at once. Not much super about it, but it does cast one hell of a shadow. The canopies always felt very arts and crafts to me. Cobbled together, always added onto, never finished, never planned. It's clearly taken a lot of time and effort to make, but the end result's still ugly, and it feels like it could fall apart at any moment. You okay, Morgan? You look a little carsick. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. But if I ignore her text now, she'll just send more later. Hey, Freckles. I saw your friend Ash on the news. Rip. Thank you. For trying to be sincere. Worth a shot. We all have our strengths. God damn, you are one passive-aggressive little girl. Why is all your filial piety go out the window whenever you talk to me? Filial piety doesn't work on you. You love yourself too much to appreciate respect. True with the train. True with the train. See, Freckles, you can be very insightful. When you aren't too busy side-eyeing the whole world. Wonder where I picked that up from. Not for me? I'm pretty sure you were born muttering insults under your breath. The nurses tried to make you cry, and you responded by giving them self-esteem issues. Did you ever have dealings with Noble? 10 out of 10 shift in the combo. Subtle as a car crash. Subtlety doesn't work on you either. Well, it might. If you were good at it, XD. This is me asking you for advice. Okay. I guess this never sunk in. Because you spent most of your apprenticeship asleep. But my clients were all celebs. The rich and famous. I didn't have that many dealings with the Megs that owned their likenesses. Is it really that different? Plenty. Celebs don't like people seeing their dirty side. So they pay smart people like me to clean up their messes. But Megs don't like people seeing them at all. Period. And also, Megs are a lot more lively when it comes to beeping. Gross. Hard workers with a lot of stress to vent. Stop. Do you actually have any help to offer? Truth be told, I did have this one run-in where they got fucked deep into corporate intrigue. Why? Because I got caught beep, beep, beep up the beep of Analyze 45 poster girl. God damn it. Hard worker. A lot of stress to it. Glad to know I always reach out to you in my time of need. I'm gonna let that slide because I know you're mourning. Look, corporate types are all a bunch of paranoid drug addicts, huffing glue and playing roulette on their phones, while fantasizing about stabbing everyone else in the meeting to death. So don't expect them to play nice just because Asher was your pal. My actual advice is, get whatever you're owed, then get out of there as fast as fuck, boy. That's a beautiful thought, Auntie. I mean it. Corporations prefer Viking funerals. What's a Viking funeral? A dignified ceremony where the body's sent out to sea on a boat. Then, they set everything on fire and sink the ashes to the bottom of the ocean. Try not to linger, Freckles. You don't want to be stuck on board when they start knocking their arrows. Thanks. But what the hell was that about me sleeping on the job? I worked harder in one day than any of you Gen Alpha drunks did all last week. Should've worked smarter, lol. And if you want to go there, you did literally fall asleep on the job. At the Christmas party. Sweet dreams. What is that? Why do you have that? Not even accurate. Work parties are still work, Freckles. I only had my eyes closed. Morgan, something wrong? You're sweating. Just deleting some spam. We've got a couple more minutes of crawling through the canopy's guts before we even reach David's part of the city. Uptown, our better half, gleaming opera houses and towering corporate apartments, boutique shops with more cameras than customers, penthouses stacked upon penthouses in a frantic climb to the top of the rat pile, all ringed in by restaurants with long wait times and small serving sizes. The joke is that uptown folks go most of the year without touching street level. Not much of a punchline there, it's basically true. By now, his whole block must be swarmed with cops, themselves surrounded by media and all encircled by onlookers. I could try and enjoy these last few moments of calm, but if the storm's coming either way, I'd rather use this time to try and find my footing. Actually, Jess, if you got a second, I was curious about... I saw that headline, by the way, the one where your warm android saved that soldier's life. Oh yeah, pretty feel good, don't you think? So folks at the company must have been in high spirits lately, I take it. That's what I thought when I first heard about it, but I don't know. Maybe upper management's never happy. Because they're still writing sales harder than ever, pushing the traditional consumer markets. I thought they'd just start building a pitch for Congress the day the story dropped. A big patriotic campaign telling everyone why we need a contract for warm androids in the military. But I haven't heard them moving staff around or anything like that. Maybe it's all above my pay grade. All the corporate power and the money in the world, and they're still such joyless assholes that they won't even celebrate their victories. Jess, I have to wonder, what kind of request did David make of you that it couldn't wait a few days? Right, of course. He asked me to give you something. Something? Is she trying to build suspense? Right, it's just, well, I don't know exactly what it is. You have no idea? He asked me to give you the contents of his safe. Are we headed to the bank then? No, see, he has this private safe in his basement. Maybe you've seen it? Well, I say safe, but it might be more accurate to call it a storage locker or a false wall. And all he told you was that he wanted me to have what's inside? Right. He was very clear about that part. Your eyes only, straight into your hands. Handle it in person, he said. Strange. This is all pretty analog for someone as technically gifted as David. Coming from anyone else, I'd call it paranoid, but David was never paranoid, even when he had every right to be. He wanted this handled a certain way, it must be for a good reason. I'm guessing you've already been to his place? Yeah, it's a real mess over there. It's that bloody? Oh, God, no, not that kind of mess. I just mean with the cops stacked on the media, stacked on the lawyers, each of them with their own network of drones and all their droning. It's very, it's a very high productivity atmosphere is what I mean. When were you able to get over there? Well, I got this call from legal late last night. They weren't exactly delicate in breaking the news to me last night. They said they needed my help sorting through all his, well, you know, he left things organized sometimes. He's been dead since last night and they've kept it under wraps that long. I know there are a lot of powerful people in his circles, but to stop it from leaking for over 12 hours? That seems like more than just your typical powerful people trying to control the narrative. Seems more like there's something they're actively trying to suppress. So, you found out last night? Yep, right last night. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. I should have told you as soon as I found out. Really, it's all right. Did you see anything? No, I still haven't actually seen him at all. He was airlifted to the hospital ASAP, and that's where he passed, so... But, well, I didn't get the impression that the cops had been there that long. Not compared to the lawyers. They and the rest of the company people seemed pretty entrenched. Noble set up camp before the police even arrived. So what time would that have been? I guess I got there around 9 p.m.? Yeah, because 9:15 they switched my phone to silo mode, and I got locked out of everything but my work stuff. They sent last blah at 9:13. They sent my last blah at 9:13. See, gonna expire whoever put me in heels this morning, and me. They can do that to your phone, lock you out of social media? Of course not. Well, unless I'm on the clock or off the clock, but on company property, then they can remote all my tech. Yeah. How convenient. So I got in at 9 p.m. I'd guess the rest of the company people had been there since 8:30 p.m. I hadn't been there more than a few minutes before the mood changed. Word about the hospital declaring him dead had started to leak. I see. He died after he reached the hospital? That's unexpected. It's 2086. You might be in trouble if you get stuck in bureaucratic purgatory, but when you need to be in an emergency room, but other than that, if you reach the hospital alive, a good doctor can stabilize most any patient within a few moments. And a Noble Electronics lead programmer would have a very good doctor. So what the hell happened? Is she mistaken? Was he just not officially declared dead until reaching the hospital for some reason, or... Hard to think about it, I know. Yeah. Or hard to believe. Remind me, how many years did you and David work together? Oh, well, I started with the company about 4 years ago. They offered me a temp contract when I was graduating. I was put in HR right in the middle of hiring burst, so I spent 2 months in the Warrens. Then an aptitude test got me fast-tracked to a mid-low management. Sorry, Warrens? Oh, that's just what we called the company dorms back then, on accounts of all the people. Ah. Plus, it was underground. Didn't see the sun for the first month, my skin got so dry. Is that normal in your industry? Normal for everyone I've ever worked with. Except David, of course, but I mean, he was the best. Yeah. One Tuesday morning, Dr. David Asher walked right up to my desk like I had won the lotto. Said I could come work for him, Dr. David Asher, directly. On a random Tuesday morning like it was nothing. He didn't like to do things on Mondays. Said people were always too tired to get anything done anyways. Yeah, that's right. He did say that. I should know by now, right? 3 years of arranging meetings and keeping him organized and occasionally straightening his tie. He was a good boss. He was a good guy. Yeah. When did you last speak with him? In person? Thursday. Thursday afternoon. The day before yesterday. He seemed normal. I mean, I didn't. We still don't really know anything, Jess. You're right, thanks. Thursday's the last time I saw him. That was when he asked me to meet with you. So, David asked you to do this on Thursday, correct? Yeah, Thursday. And he passed last night, Friday. Yeah. Wait, you don't think that we met, he had already decided? It's not healthy to speculate on that sort of thing. More importantly, it's not helpful. The dead don't have anything to offer the living, I should know. You're probably right. Besides, we'll need to focus. Judging by the size of the crowd I'm looking at, it looks like we're about to jump into the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it, everybody. And I thought there were a lot of police here before. Maybe it's too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan? She's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, heads peeking over shoulders and around sides. Police most mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter, while protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panic anxiety washing over. Who the hell were all those people? Oh, well, they've always been people with strong feelings about our products. Android stepped forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human side. Most of them with an official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerged from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it? Yep, David had the penthouse all to himself, but every other floor's tenants and Noble are Noble employers too. Not an uncommon arrangement for Uptown. Work at Noble, rent from Noble. Wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. They didn't actually do the last part, I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Yes, it's pretty standard benefit. Actually, it's cheap for them compared to dental. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard and the company will set you for life. And after. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody's just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can just skip all the checkpoints? No, absolutely not. So, do we need permission from the cops or the company? My request went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. We won't need to go near the actual, Is it still called a crime scene if it's not technically a crime? I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in his penthouse's basement, but we can't get to the ground floor elevators. We'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died, then... Okay, so if we just flash my ID card at any problem that comes up, including him... Hey ladies, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else by, and we won't be able to maintain. Huh? You're that lawyer, Morgan. You caught me, detective. How long's it been? Feels like it's been ages. Oh dear, not still bitter about the last encounter, I hope. I'll live. I don't see the spunky one around. She's taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm. Detective Reyes is around. Why? You miss her that bad? I've had blind pimples that were more endearing. You two know each other? Jess Starling, meet the homicide detective, Chasm London. It's a pleasure, miss. Likewise? As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted when it comes to line of work. Morgan's being modest, sweetheart, we're practically blood. Oh, wow, me? Sweetheart? Something wrong, Starling? No, nothing wrong. But close as we are, I still can't just let her walk in, off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play by the rules today. Play by the rules, so there is a game afoot. What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity? You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. Call it an old man's intuition. Good detectives don't rely on intuition though, do they? They rely on evidence. Oh, I don't really rely on it, don't worry. I just need to lean on it every now and then, when my back gacks up. Oh, cool. Guy gets a bit of gray in his hair and he thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter. The deceased wasn't your client? No, that would have been a conflict of interest. Conflict of... You two know each other? I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences. Thank you. But what I could really use is a bit of your help. You sure rally fast. Jess? Right. We have this clearance here, Detective Sir, from legal, which allows us That's all right, little lady. I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady? We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective. All right, why not? How generous. I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up, he gestures to the lobby full of suits and cops, plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack. Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I can take this time to ask you a few questions? Hey, you can always ask, Tiger. But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me. You're looking a bit haggard. How long have you been here anyway? Since this morning. But civilized folk don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on. Even if he got around 1 or 2 in the morning, that still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had lay on the land. Sounds like you could use a break. I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right? According to all my business cards. Think I can sue for elder abuse? Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. You would lose, though. I already regret asking. Why have they got the homicide detective losing sleep over this anyways? A man is dead, and he wasn't killed by fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation, as far as we know. So at the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fit. But we're leading in name only. A high-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. You boys and nobles still getting along with each other, sharing your toys? Some of the younger ones are bristling, but I always play well with others, Counselor. And how well do Megs play with you? They give you full access to the building security? They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system, top-of-the-line coverage, top to bottom of the building. The size of the data stream's torrential, but it'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. A more conspirational man might think that was intentional. Bury us in data and hope we're too swamped to find whatever they're trying to hide. Maybe. Wait, they gave you full access to Penumbra, but that means every android in the building is feeding you their full spectrum. You know your stuff. The Penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net. That's not much help since there won't be any androids in the penthouse. Right. You know, I'd heard the rumors never put much stock in them, but it's true. Asher really never owned a single android? Never. Well, I suppose I might do the same if I was the genius who programmed them all. Every time they open their mouths, it'd just be his own lip service refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved. So that means all you'll have to investigate with are the penthouse's security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of this, ladies. I've been checking my phone, but the only thing that the news seems to agree on is that David passed away. Sorry, but if you're asking for details, no, thank you. For not letting them make this into a parade. Yet. We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved with an ongoing investigation. He declined to say the victim. Detective, Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years. Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone. Can you tell me if he killed himself? It looks like that's the case. I see. Thank you for telling me that. Dr. Ash... Yeah, sorry. Another round of guarded words. David was an important man, but it has only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David, it wasn't cut and dry. David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics. One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contributions to the field. Some people felt that way for sure. So... Hold up. So do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that? Remind me which one of us is the detective again? You really won't let me pick your brain? You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial, androids especially. We at Noble are aware that our products are sometimes the subject of heated debate, but no need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth be told, I never really understood the hate. It's not complicated, is it? How many people have lost a job to an ad at least once in their career? Every last one of them lost their jobs because their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses, fired them. Nah, ads are just symptoms. Scratch that. Ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless, and vandalizing them is less than pointless because, unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, Android production has surged over the last decade to become one of the nation's biggest exports. True, nice to have at least one thing we can make in this economy. That's right. Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is proudly done right here at home. I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be a point of national pride. But you don't need a political science degree to see how much state values Noble's contributions to the national economy. Alright, now listen, I don't mind being helpful and I am trying to be sensitive here, but we really do have a lot on our hands at the moment, so I'm going to have to ask you to be discreet. Well, our business is just in the basement of David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor of the roof, so the basement would be second to last floor. If you want to be technical, detective, the point is, we don't need to go to the kitchen or the parlor. We'll just go straight back to his workshop and then head downstairs. The kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman? Yes, he's... Lead the way, detective. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones to the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed to the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside in its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around the nose by their whole life following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trail must have led them here for half reasons they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin, the misunderstood genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone else more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. Dave wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work with his eyes fixed ahead. This is what? His laboratory? His shop, he called it. How down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw. If he was leaving things like this, he must ought to entertain any guests down here in some time. Thanks for your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? We won't take long. Not lacking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible. Promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, we'll be sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If we find a dead body, you'll be our first call. Morgan, what's all that stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Well, generally speaking, it's not common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them. Oh. Look, if David's something to give me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand? Of course. Great, after you. Right, quiet as a church house. The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but... Caught myself. I'm okay. But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her. David's shop was a mess. Felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise, always claimed he didn't have the time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, said he couldn't find the time. And even when I explained to him that his program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he's still, Morgan, what's up? You're smiling. What's so funny? Nothing. Just surprised to see this place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. Never thought I'd learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Did you know that marble needs to be treated or else indoor air will start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is that true? Wait, is it not? But her guy told me that with an epoxy finish the entire bar table could. Is that the vault over there then? Yeah, stands out, I guess. Nervous? What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps mostly, so. Aren't you going to open it? Open it? Don't you know the combination? No, I don't know the combination to David's basement vault. Oh, no. How could I have? He didn't tell you, or he give you the code, or he gave me the code to get into the building in the parking garage, but not the code to whatever this is. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them? Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You stay right here, Morgan. I'll have this settled just a sec. Sounds good. Right then. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys basic sturdy cure, anti-hack, anti-digital, high-rated code panel. Nothing basic about it, but at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Only 1 million possible combinations. Slim chances. Why the hell? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to do all why I thought that could work. Forget it. There's a different terminal over there. Covered security systems according to the label. Maybe it controls the whole room. Damn it, it's password protected too, and the code's 64 digits long. What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egghead? Okay, yeah, a programmer probably would care more about its IoT than whatever he can fit in the safety deposit box. Guess it's a 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick, and whatever the felonies I get into in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head, so what do I know? Well, whatever David put in his safe, he wanted to keep it secure, and that I also know he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David likes games, and he really liked beating me, so if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. The floor's got a new addition, looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. It's like something you jack your feet on at the gym or carburetor factory floor. It's more high performance than high class, expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that, it's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing, so someone must have cheaped out during the installation and left a defect in it. That, or David left the jackhammer on overnight. Taking a closer look, this is pretty serious looking at the set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers. In which case, the digits on the weights could be a clue, but there's too many I can't guess the order. What the hell, Asher? Did you set all the weights to max because it looked more neat? David's wine collection is still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves, but not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving the bottles off the rack. The latest bottle chosen was Merdu Camp 81. Could be significant, except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. This must be a spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka nose burner whiskey that only an underage programmer would love. Nostalgia's sweet, like that, overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. It's a very big painting, and it's an impressionist? No, cubicle. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is not. Whatever its style, I do remember that David likes this painting, and if there's a date on it, it could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe signing your work is considered gauche among the cubicleists? Alright, I've searched the whole room for now. Time to make our break. Can I type? What if it's just... am I actually supposed to know it? Bro, I don't know. No dice. I feel like there's at least one hint that I came across. Better try again. Dude, I didn't... I found like the 81 per camp, but I didn't see anything else. Evidence. Okay, that didn't help me at all. Terms? Ah, 112558. 12558. The date the painting was signed. The password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey Morgan, how'd you get that open? What is that? I turned back around just in time to see Grace revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned across her temple, required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such, and yet even standing this close, I can swear it's snoring. I step forward and place my back of my wrist on the android's brow, warm. It must be a prototype for Anime 16, or maybe a prototype for 17 or 18? A biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but sorry, I misspoke. Right, understandable since you seem surprised. Jess, hasn't Noah been working on warm androids like this one for years now? Warm androids like this one? I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just that this particular model is it's very cutting edge. Bleeding edge, judging by the flush of those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not, approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Do you see a switch or something? To you? Can we, turn it around? Or I poked the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected given its frame, but it's rigidity the rigidity holy crap. But the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right, androids mostly transport themselves, so people aren't really surprised to find out they're heavier than they look. A bit, I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First of all, now this. I was able to guess the combinations by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play, and I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm going to step back into the lab for a moment. All right? Huh? Oh, sure. There's gotta be some manual around here. Good idea. It might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number and find something in the company files? Yeah, of course. The generic ID numbers should be paired with the industry standard files on maintenance tracking power requirements. Somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a catnap in the sarcophagus in David Azur's basement will have a user manual, but it can't hurt for a try, and... I'm okay. Broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue, and I'd rather search the lab by myself. Now then, if I were David and I wanted to make sure that the only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? Hey guys, I think I'm gonna end it right there. I think that's a good place to end. Um, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and um, comment if you want me to make more episodes of this series. Yeah. Thanks and bye.